So now you are up against 11, correct?
Yeah.
And you have a power of 11? Was that right? 10?
13.
13. Oh, okay. So you have a 60, it has a 40.
58.
Well, go ahead and you should unfortunately realize that it rolled a 0-1. So you're going to lose 3 points of power.
Okay.
But you both can check your power for overcoming its power with your attack, which was enough to drive it away. So you're by making your roll, you're driving it away. But if you did not make that roll, then it would stay. Or they would sort of, how am I going to put it? The swarm would be interested in you. Mm-hmm. And would say, ooh, and come.
Why do I now have a feeling of piranha?
Mm-hmm. Ready? How many?
12. 15 fishes.
Uh-huh. Yes, indeed. So that's a 35 for you.
You are a lucky one, right?
Yeah, I'm the lucky one. I also have the least power in the group.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe sea burial for me. 35.
Try to fight them otherwise.
51. Damn it!
Oh no, okay. So it's going to, they're going to hit you for 1 point of power.
Yeah.
I suggest casting a spell.
Spirit shield.
Yes, what a good idea.
Yeah, so that's 1 power as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't remember what Spirit Shield did.
it drops their effective power
okay.
substantially, not yours.
45.
Ah, perfect.
No, damn it! I have 2 less. So
That's no, I know that, but the Spirit Shield
that's
drops
cool.
them,
yeah, okay.
so you're
you're fine.
okay.
Super.
Yeah. So the Spirit Shield actually made all the difference for that one. So what this means is that you're able to drive them off after you have cast your Spirit Shield.
Can I check my power?
Yeah, in that case, yes, you can. So all of you are going to get a chance to increase your power at the end of the session, which is good.
Yeah.
And this is just a minor effect of the events of this day, which are starting to seem stranger and stranger.
Is it just us, or is
No,
other
this is
sailors
affecting.
or
Oh, the
like,
other sailors are doing the same, and they are not screaming or in panic or anything like that. In fact, they are spreading their arms wide in welcoming these effects.
We're the only ones salty about it.
That's right. You exactly.
My pants are strong today.
land crabs?
That's right. Yes. At this point is when they, when a lot of them get their axes and long spears with a hooking point, and no missile weapons. They don't bring any bows. They get in the kind of ship that I posted on Facebook, has a lower section. It's very long and narrow. It has a lower section for the rowers, and in this case, each rower is armed as well. So, in other words, the pole weapons have been mounted along the sides of the ship, and the rowers don't look any different from the other people. It's not like they are slaves and these other people are warriors. It's just that you have to row it, so some of us will row it. The point is that there are enough weapons for everybody. The people up at the top, if the time comes to use the weapons, they will simply pass them down to the people below. So at the moment they are busy with their oars, and you cannot have your spear sticking there next to you while you are pulling an oar. And then the people up on the top, they clearly are people with a little bit more status. They have they have put on funny hats. That's one thing about religions everywhere. Funny hats are involved. I don't know why. But, and you have seen it before in every single temple. And of course, the way it looks like it is that your hat is never strange. Your hat is culture. Your hat makes sense to worship.
Of course.
Everyone else's hat is obviously weird.
Yeah.
So they put on their weird hats, and then they're up there, and they start chanting. So there's 2 of these ships that are getting ready in this fashion. At this point, there is no obvious destination that you can see for them. And then the people who are left on this ship it's not the majority of people. Most people are jumping into these.
So like a
others.
skeleton crew.
That's
is
correct.
left, okay.
You are the ones who are the skeleton crew. And they don't seem to be arming for war or anything like that.
Oh.
They seem... now, the one thing that is offered to you as a courtesy is if you want to come along.
No.
That's a big no. Okay.
Kind of figure that being left here with a skeleton crew or being on a ship with a lot of armed people, kind of feel safer being on a ship with armed people.
They have been very explicit about their destination.
The vomiter.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah, let's go see the vomiter.
It's a good story, isn't it?
I figured you would, but
one ship each or the same.
I wasn't so sure about everyone else.
One ship each or the same. It's like at least a 50% chance that some of us come back.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't worry, Skava, there's going to be plenty to do here too.
Oh, that wasn't what I was worried about.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's me and Zort. We
Good
began
luck.
this together. We're going to finish it together.
Good luck,
Goodbye.
See ya. See you
Okay.
in the afterlife.
That's right. So shall you do you plan to be on the same ship? Or
Yeah,
there are 2?
That's probably a better idea.
Yeah.
The same ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good enough. Okay. Well, there's a great cheer when you do this because they were worried that you were all wimps, and so they're very happy that you are not. And
she has to. She have to stay and tend to our wounded friends.
they completely understand.
It's
That makes perfectly good
she
sense.
wanted to,
They're-
but,
that's right. They're
she
very
couldn't
sorry
go.
that you had to stay. That's a shame.
It's fine.
Right.
You can't
So-
have everything.
Yeah, you can do it the next time, though. I promise.
So, perfect. Well, you did not have to go, but you may if you want. And so off the ships go. Now, where are they going? Because what you will find, first of all, is that there is an effect in the water. About, I don't know, maybe 300 meters in its full distance, surrounding the ship. And at first it looks as though some kind of wall has arisen in the water in a circle around the ship. It's pretty far out. Without worrying about the power cost, if you want to use your Farsi spell to get a better look at it, you can tell what it is. That there is a long creature that is circling
Great.
the ship.
Am I going to ask somebody to explain a little bit more in detail what it is that is happening?
Yes, the Vomiter is a very famous monster that is very old, may even have been born of the primal chaos, which is really saying something, right? Back when the world began. And that it's called this because creatures that it swallows can return. It's as
Can.
Yes, can return as changed and powerful, and
Wow.
it's sometimes it's called the mother of monsters, even though that is not used in the sense of birthing so much as the sense of just creating. And so so it's considered a mighty deed by these people anyway. And I should point out that nobody else agrees with them. This is a unique custom.
Kind of regret not asking this question like before, but okay.
And
It would be out of character.
That's right. Yeah. So yes, you are having it enthusiastically explained to you that that if the Vomiter returns up what it has swallowed, that many of many of its creations will be released upon the world, and that our heroes who have gone in there may themselves be transformed into mighty forms.
We might, best case scenario, touched by chaos. Worst case scenario, I'm not sure.
Well, it's exciting.
A third arm, maybe.
Could come in handy. I got free access.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. Well, so this has begun now. Since it is swimming in a circle, sooner or later it will raise its head and open its mouth, and the idea is for the ships you are in have gone out. Well, they have gone out and they are swimming alongside it. You see, in the opposite direction, in the hopes that when it opens its mouth, they will just go straight in. And that is, of course, some pretty heavy sailing, right? Because you are going against the wind and the current, and the rowers have to really row, and you are guests, so you don't have to row. But they do tell you to beware that once we get in there, that the legend has it. None of them has done this before, you see. That once you get in there, that we can expect, of course, for all sorts of terrible creatures to be in. And the captain of the ship you were on has sworn an oath. He says, when I am in there, we are going to go deep enough so that I can touch its heart. He says, there's no doubt that I will be transformed into the mightiest. As far as he's concerned, it's time for these pirates to unite across the islands and become something of a force in the world.
Do they call themselves something?
Yes, but I haven't made it up yet.
Yeah, okay. But they identify
suitably,
as,
I came up with stupid names like pirate names, and then I gave up.
like
I
sea
hate
people
that.
or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't want to call sea people is a good ancient world term, but I was thinking, then I started to come up with colorful names, and they all sounded stupid. So I'll have to put some thought into this.
Monsters of the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah,
But
yes.
they identify as a
Yes, they do,
group.
as a culture.
Yeah, a culture.
Excellent. Well,
I can help with the rowing if they need like more rowers.
yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Go ahead and roll your strength times 5.
I'll observe.
28. I got
No,
60.
excellent. Okay, so that means you don't get thrown off of the oar by the rhythm of all the oars working together. Well, you're not used to it, I mean, you have to spend a little bit of your strength trying to stay on top of the situation. No. And so if you had rolled a 12 or less, I would permit it. Yeah. Okay, now we have a few other interesting points. Around this time is when the person you are talking to, who has explained all these interesting ideas to you, says, well, let's see, it's about time so the crewmen start to get together some very large harpoons, these long spears, and they are constructed so that it takes several people. Actually, there are devices built into the side of the ship that you can put them in, and then you can maneuver it at different angles and then push it to strike. So there are several places around the ship for this to happen, and they start to do that, and one person climbs up to the top of the mast to survey the sea and starts calling down to give signals that so far say things like, not yet.
Okay.